Alright, so this is my final presentation, Technology and Education Final Exam, Jessie Steele. The first standard is to facilitate and inspire student learning and creativity. And I do believe that my work this semester was very creative due to really the restrictive semester theme. It was a lot of fun to sort of glean through the Americas themed standards and then turn them into whiteboard activities, PowerPoints, and web quests. I wanted my students to be able to learn and to see and to create beyond a simple bar graph or a graphic organizer. And I wanted my students to be able to collaborate but also practice self-sustaining. However, on the Web 2.0 tools, Tumblr, group blogs and group projects being conducted on the web will be conducted on the website. I also believe that my projects had a very good balance of talking face-to-face and digitally. In my Harlem Renaissance web quest, I had them explore websites and watch film, but I also had them interview a relative and self-reflect on their own sense of style. And in terms of reflection, my students were constantly asked follow-up questions, and there was a constant questioning of, do you like this? How can this be made more relevant and interesting to you, etc., etc. It's important to constantly ask your students to reflect. The second standard was to design and develop digital age learning experiences and assessments. One of the key things of this class that I got to experience was the design aspect. I'm relatively tech savvy, but creating a digital lesson plan and activities from scratch was completely new to me. And I think that my work was relevant to the grade levels I chose and to the semester theme. A good point to keep in mind, however, when we're doing this for a real class and not just, online, is to let the students have a say. Let them speak out and give suggestions on what they like to do. If they didn't like the whiteboard activity, okay, so don't do the whiteboard activities as much and focus on the web quest that they do like. I also believe that I had a good mix of the learning styles in my assignments, especially in my web quest. There was a lot of stuff to research and questions to answer, things to create, things to write, and people to talk to. Something to address the visual, kinesthetic, and auditory learners in the classroom. My work in this class helped train me to more technologically advance my lesson plans, and it helped train my brain to wonder how technology could be incorporated into any lesson. This class also taught me to always have a rubric to assess a project, technological or not. The third standard was to model digital age work and learning. And I believe that this whole course was training for that, to model the digital age work and learning. I don't believe that I demonstrated excellency in this, but this whole class taught me to be aware of maintaining contact and to become proficient in technology advances. I believe the Web 2.0 tools I discussed would be beneficial in maintaining contact with students and parents, as well as the Audio Boom and Screencast-O-Matic. The latter two especially, to explain how to use tricky technology tools, like if someone didn't know how to do a PowerPoint, I could screencast just exactly like I'm doing now and show them. This wasn't demonstrated in the work submitted, but I had several friends enrolled in this course, and we all collaborated and bounced ideas off each other. If we were stuck on how to incorporate technology, we would chat with each other and give suggestions. Perfect training for our future as teachers. There was also research necessary, especially to find lesson plans within the semester theme, and technology was absolutely beneficial in that process. The fourth standard is to promote and model digital citizenship and responsibility. Now, we talked a lot in the discussion boards about making sure our students were well educated and how to use and respect both technology and the teacher. And in our field experience for this course, we learned that several elementary schools have one common hub, like Weebly, where teachers can put the links the students need and only those links so students won't be tempted to go to forbidden sites. In several of our tools that we explored, Skype particularly, the option was discussed to contact people from across the world and discuss what's happening with them to promote global diversity and cultural awareness. In the common discussions about teaching our students how to use technology, it was implied that we should teach them to be lawful on the internet, and we ourselves should uphold this at school with no illegal streamed movies, things of that nature. We didn't have many activities to discuss the etiquette of online interaction, but it was implied in discussion and general knowledge of the course. There was also a diverse mix of activities to appeal to the learning types of all sorts, so no one felt left out or behind, especially in the accommodation sections of lesson plans. And I feel that my web quest was a very good example of the different types of learning styles in one assignment. The fifth standard is to engage in professional growth and leadership. This class made me feel more professional. I know how to do a lot more things on my computer than I did at the start. I also feel that with this knowledge, I can be a better leader at my future school and help my fellow staff members if they are having trouble. As stated in previous slides, this class helped me develop a technology-tinted brain process for lesson plans to have a technological drive, as it were. We were also asked to reflect a lot on why we chose what we chose and on how we did what we did and on how we could make it better. Self-evaluation was key to this course, which makes for a more professional teacher in the long run. This class made me excited to be a teacher. It taught me how to write a lesson plan and had me chomping at the bit in order to graduate and get out there. If teachers want to teach, it will restore vitality to the profession. This class and several of the activities was so cool that I shared them with some colleagues and family friends who are teachers, keeping that cycle spinning. And the feedback also helped. It helped us know what we excelled in and how we could do even better. And knowing your strengths and fixing your weaknesses is key to being a good leader. Thank you.